Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more Los Angeles Lakers news, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Can the Lakers secure enough assets to bring in the excellent player Bam Adebayo? If they do, it will be a great deal because Bam Adebayo is only 27 years old and has the potential to form a successful duo with Luka Doncic. Fans love Aunties Reeves, but the team will see more immediate results with Bam Adebayo. Trade suggestion for the Lakers to be championship favorites. Bam Adebayo is a great option for the Lakers. It's well documented that Alex Len and Jackson Hayes shouldn't headline the Los Angeles Lakers frontcourt in 2025-26. While there are plenty of big man assets the Lakers could turn their attention to this summer, Lake Show Life's Sviatoslav Ravenchuk believes that completing a four-team, Austin Reeves-centered trade for a three-time All-Star is the correct way to approach free agency. If the Lakers are going to pursue a top-heavy, three-star build then slotting in Bam Adebayo in favor of Reeves makes a lot more sense, Ravenchuk wrote last Friday. The Heat center offers a much more complementary skill set to Luka Doncic and LeBron James. Ravenchuk's blockbuster trade proposal sends Adebayo to the Lakers, Kristaps Porzingis and Cameron Johnson to the Heat, Keldon Johnson and the 26th overall pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, via Brooklyn Nets, to the Boston Celtics, and Reeves, Duncan Robinson, Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, and a 2031 unprotected first-round pick, via Lakers, to the Nets. Adebayo may not receive the respect he deserves, but there's no question he's among the most skilled big men in the league. Although the Kentucky product's long-range jumper leaves much to be desired, his dynamic face-up and back-to-the-basket game, combined with his exceptional screening and rolling ability in ball screen situations, allow him to be productive on the offensive end. Defensively, Adebayo has earned a positive reputation as a physical defender capable of guarding agile perimeter-oriented players. The 27-year-old superstar averaged 18.1 points and 9.6 rebounds per game with the Heat this season, drilling 48.5% of his field goals in 78 regular season contests. While Adebayo isn't the cheapest frontcourt contributor the Lakers could target, he signed a 3-year, $165 million contract with the Heat in 2024. He could be worth a look if Los Angeles elects not to move forward with a disappointing playoff performer in Reeves. Lakers could capitalize on this factor to add major talent. The Los Angeles Lakers are going to have to make significant improvements to their roster if they want to make any kind of deep playoff run next season. Los Angeles wasn't expecting to be eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. They were hoping to make much more noise, especially after acquiring Luka Doncic a couple of weeks before the trade deadline. The Lakers don't have much cap space this summer to sign players in free agency. LeBron James doesn't seem to want to take a pay cut to give the Lakers some more flexibility. Los Angeles might not have a lot of cap space, but they do have one big advantage this summer that they can use. The Lakers have a ton of expiring contracts that they can use to help facilitate some trades. In fact, they have about $60 million in expiring contracts that they can work with. The Lakers have several players that they could move in order to fix some of their biggest holes, namely at center and a perimeter defender. Those are the two things that they need the most. Gabe Vincent and Rui Hachimura are the two guys who get brought up the most when talking about the expiring contracts. They could look to move both in order to bring in a pretty good starting center. They would much rather part ways with Vincent than Hachimura. Hachimura is a much better defender than Vincent is, and he's been much more healthy. Availability is the best ability, and Vincent hasn't been available. He has played in just 83 games over the last 2 years. That's part of the reason why it might be hard to trade him in exchange for a solid player. The Lakers need guys who can play better defense. It's the only way they will have any chance of winning an NBA title. What kind of players they can get for Hachimura and Vincent will determine how they approach the rest of the summer. This season, Hachimura averaged 13.1 points, 5 rebounds, and 1.4 assists per game. Vincent averaged 6.4 points, 1.3 rebounds, and 1.4 assists per game. Why Austin Reeves is unlikely to sign contract extension with Lakers. Much of the contract extension talk surrounding the Los Angeles Lakers this offseason is focused on superstar guard Luka Doncic. However, his backcourt partner Austin Reaves is also extension eligible this summer as well. Because of the previous contract Reaves signed with the Lakers, which was the maximum amount they could sign him for, the max extension the Lakers can sign him to this offseason is well below what he is worth and is reportedly seeking in his next deal. Reaves is expected to command a contract of around $30 million annually if he tests free agency next offseason, while the Lakers can only offer him a 4-year, $89 million deal this summer. As such, ESPN's Bobby Marks believes Reaves is unlikely to sign an extension with the Lakers this summer in order to hit free agency in 2026 for a much bigger deal. It's nobody's fault, but Reaves and the Lakers could be in a holding pattern on a new contract. Reaves signed a 4-year, $53.8 million deal with the Lakers in 2023, the maximum allowed because of his free agent status at the time. His $13.9 million salary in 2025-26 is below the average player salary and non-tax mid-level exception. 2 years later, that bargain contract could play a role in the guard becoming a free agent in the 2026 offseason. Because of his team-friendly salary, the maximum extension the Lakers can offer is 4 years, $89.2 million. The $19.9 million for the first year is 140% of the average player's salary, the most allowed under the CBA. What to expect? Reaves should bypass signing an extension and enter free agency in 2026. Declining the $14.9 million player option in 2026-27 would give him more financial options on a fresh contract with the Lakers. These intricacies of the CBA are playing a big role in the Lakers' options with Reaves. Many expected a team to offer Reaves a big contract back in 2023, but no one did, so the Lakers got him on a bargain deal that has only gotten better since. But to expect Reaves to do so again would be foolish. Reaves has been on one of the best contracts in the entire NBA, and he deserves to cash in and get paid what he is worth. And considering how highly he is viewed within the Lakers organization, it seems likely he will get that in LA. While unlikely, there is a possibility that the Lakers could trade away Austin Reaves this offseason, as he is undoubtedly the team's most attractive trade piece if they were to actually make him available. This has led to some on the internet, including Reaves, in potential trades, and his agent Aaron Riley of AMR Agency doesn't appreciate that, as he took to social media to send a warning out, saying that the 27-year-old is going to put on a show next season and to stop putting him in trade rumors for second-string centers. Lakers expected to be extremely aggressive this offseason. This will be a very important offseason for the Los Angeles Lakers as they look to build the ideal roster around Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Austin Reaves. Rob Pelinka and the rest of the front office will be working all summer, using all potential options to improve this team and contend for the NBA championship next season. Whether it is through free agency, the NBA draft, or trades, the Lakers must identify and acquire the right pieces to take this team to the next level, and ESPN's Bobby Marks believes the franchise will be very aggressive in doing so. In an appearance on ESPN's Get Up, Marks said he expects the team to be extremely aggressive this offseason, using their expiring contracts to acquire a center and other depth pieces, while also eyeing an extension for Doncic. I expect them to be extremely aggressive this offseason, especially with LeBron likely going into, he's got 1 year left on his contract. I think there's 3 things here. You've got to take advantage of the $60 million in expiring contracts, when you're looking at certainly players like Gabe Vincent and Rui Hachimura. The second thing is, they showed their hand at the trade deadline when they made that Mark Williams trade that wound up failing him on his physical. They are going to go out and get a center this offseason. We'll see how that goes. You've got 1 first-round pick to do that. And then the third thing is, keep an eye on August 2nd, that is when Luka is eligible to sign that extension. So you're trying to build for the now, but I think you also have to have an eye for the future when eventually LeBron does retire here. Hachimura, Vincent, and Maxi Kleber combine for around $41 million in expiring contracts. Dorian Finney-Smith would also be an expiring should he opt in to the final year of his deal at $15.3 million, and Jared Vanderbilt could also be included in a potential trade, though he has potentially 3 more guaranteed years on his deal. A center remains a top priority for Pelinka and the Lakers, though the team will likely also be eyeing to improve perimeter defense and three-point shooters. Signing Luka Doncic to a long-term extension will also be of the highest priority to the Lakers front office, but there are multiple different possibilities of that deal depending on what Luka wants to do. What is clear is that there is a lot on the plate of Pelinka and the front office this summer, and all eyes will be watching to see what they do. Former Lakers wing Danny Green doesn't believe they can win with LeBron James and Luka Doncic. The Lakers believe that they can compete for a championship if they build the right team around Luka Doncic and LeBron James, but former purple and gold player Danny Green isn't so sure. Green recently spoke about the Lakers' superstar duo, saying that while they're explosive offensively, they lack a lot on defense, and he just doesn't see them winning a championship with those two as their core. What did we learn about the types of players J.J. Redick wants? In his rookie season as head coach of the Lakers, J.J. Redick gave clear insight into his basketball philosophies and what players he'd favor for minutes. The playoffs have a way of revealing all truths, especially when the season is on the line. They not only bring a player back to comfortable tendencies but also impact a head coach in the same manner. For the Lakers' rookie head coach J.J. Redick, it highlighted which players and skill sets he trusts in the most crucial moments, providing insight into how the Lakers should approach this summer. No matter how much pedigree they come in with, every rookie NBA head coach will experience their ups and downs throughout a season. Redick is no different. In his first year, he led the team to a 50-win season before bowing out in 5 games to the Minnesota Timberwolves. One philosophy Redick believes in is 5-out spacing. As games down the stretch of the regular season became higher stakes, Redick went to more non-center lineups, benching their only playable center in Jackson Hayes regularly. Even before the blockbuster deal for Luka Doncic, the Lakers made a significant roster shift by trading guard D'Angelo Russell for forward Dorian Finney-Smith. This provided Redick the piece to unlock his small ball groups. These groups prioritize space over size, as demonstrated below. Watch as Doncic brings the ball up in semi-transition while every player runs to a spot outside the three-point line. Notice the spacing, as no player fills the dunker spot right near the rim. Finney-Smith catches the ball, sets up on the wing and drains the three-pointer. This trade-off of size for space became lopsided in the postseason. LA was dominated in the paint, on the boards, and could not reach an athletic baseline to compete against the Wolves. This vision aligns with that of head coach Joe Mazzulla in Boston, who often utilizes a spaced 5, which helped win a championship a season ago. The difference is that Boston rotates big men like Al Horford and Kristaps Porzingis in that position, while the Lakers' talent was built more to place their forwards there. Underscore 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 underscore. This idea will be a point of contention for LA this summer. As players become available via trade or free agency, their ability to fit into a 5-out system will influence the Lakers' pursuit of them. The G League serves as a space for development, and the best organizations use it to uncover hidden gem rotational players. The Lakers discovered journeyman Jordan Goodwin, who bounced around between 3 teams in 4 years before joining the South Bay squad. Goodwin received a call-up and eventually not only earned a standard contract, but minutes in both Redick's regular season and playoff rotation. He displayed a skill set that Redick clearly understands he needs, even if he'd hope it didn't need to come from a player off a 2-way deal. A tenacious defender with long arms and excellent timing on deflections and on the boards. Goodwin played into the defensive style Redick favors, which is employing a heavy switching scheme. All players become interchangeable in their defensive disposition. Watch below as Goodwin switches on to Keldon Johnson, who initially was defended by Jared Vanderbilt. Goodwin was one of the few Lakers who could not only create havoc on the perimeter but also use a low center of gravity to avoid being bullied on the block. He had no problem battling with bigs down low for contested rebounds, even wearing a mask in anticipation of blows to the face. He's a great story and find, but Goodwin surpassing Lakers in high-level deals highlights the necessity of this skill set, something the team will need to address for their head coach next season. Finally, it wouldn't be a Redick team without the need for more shooting. The Lakers selected Dalton Knecht at the number 17 pick, where reportedly Redick was already drawing up plays for the young guard before he stepped onto an NBA floor. Knecht not only made the Lakers' rotation early, but even started games from November to early December. It's no shock Redick would have an affinity for shooting, but Knecht was also a necessity to bank early victories. He showed the ability to get inferno hot from three-point territory, exploding for 27 and 37 points in wins. He gave LA the option for a movement shooter who had some off-the-bounce versatility. In short, he opened Redick's playbook. Watch below as he comes off two screens to hit the pull-up jump shot. Knecht embodied many of the issues for LA, where he primarily served as a one-dimensional player. His offense often failed to compensate for his defensive shortcomings as teams consistently targeted him on the defensive end. His minutes dropped significantly as the season wound down and the importance of the games increased. Whether that was completely due to defensive issues or still feeling the impact from the rescinded Mark Williams trade is unclear, but his skill set void was undoubtedly felt in the playoffs. The sharpshooter played 4 minutes total in the 5 playoff games, completely phased out of the rotation. The Lakers don't need every player to fit perfectly into the idea of basketball Redick envisions, but rowing in the same direction as your coach is extremely vital to any organization's success. LA hired Redick just days before the NBA draft a year ago. With more time this summer to deliberate moves, LA and Redick should be on more similar pages with the roster next season.